Hello there. Jose, are you here? Oh, there's a dog. Fernando, hi.
Hi, glad to meet you.
Hello there. So, and we have a dog as well. And me do, hi.
Hi, how are you? Hello, are you there?
Hello, we've got some sound problems here. So let's try and see if we can get the sound problems to go away. So now I'm going to start this game. I want to show you a game of chess first of all before we play today and ask you some questions. So let's see if we can see my board here. Okay, can you see the board?
Mr. Leon, there is an echo for your voice.
Yes, I've just been speaking about
Fernando.
sound. So everybody please try to keep the sound clean. It's a little bit distorted at the moment with some echo and other sounds, so be careful. Right, so everybody in the room, do we remember the names of the pieces in chess? Who can tell me all the names of all the pieces?
Pawn?
Jose, can you tell me?
Yes, we have pawn,
Yeah, when you say pawn, yes, pawn.
pawn, the knight.
Yes, so the horses are called knights, not horses.
Yes.
They're called knights. Yes.
Knight, bishop.
Bishop, yes.
Yes, rook.
Rook.
The tower.
Rook. Rook is like book. You know the word book? Rook.
Yes. Okay,
Rook. Rook. Rook.
And the king and the queen.
King and queen, yes. Now, there's been one move played.
Please, Mister, can you just let everyone to mute his microphone? I hear echo. It's very hard to understand.
What is that piece called? Can you see the white piece that's moved forward?
White piece? Sorry,
Yes.
I don't understand. Sorry.
Can you see the game board?
Yes, I can see the game board.
If you, yeah, on the game board, you can see we've also got some letters and numbers. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Do you know what they are for?
Yes.
Any idea what they are for?
No. Sorry, could you tell me some example or?
Well, does anybody know why I have letters and numbers around the edge of the board?
Yes,
I
to
think it's
indicate
just for pointing for, yeah, to indicate or.
Helder, why? Helder, tell me. Helder, why have we got letters and numbers around the board?
To localize or to indicate the right square. No?
Yeah, take the right square. And when we have two things which identify a square...
Coordinates. It's like coordinates.
Yes. I was going for that word. Coordinate. Yes, coordinates.
Coordinate, yes.
The coordinates. Yeah. So we say that one of those squares has a piece has just been moved to one of those squares. So now, Chiho, the piece that has been moved is called a pawn. P-A-W-N. It's moved to squares. Which square does it now stand on? That pawn has now been... What square, Chiho?
E4.
E4, yes, E4. So that's why the first move of this game is 4.
Sorry, I
This
didn't
is
know
a
you
good
were
move,
asking
maybe,
Theo.
because...
Sorry.
Yeah, that's okay, that's fine, because I don't think she's got the answer just yet. But, Jiho, I'm going to play the next move with a pawn, a black pawn. Can you tell me which square the pawn goes to? So, watch the move now. The second move of the game.
Yes.
No, sorry, it's not the right. It's not the right
okay.
move. Just a moment. I have to start again because. Right, just a moment. I have to do the moves because the moves are different to that you see in the game with Mighty Rubble there. I'm using another. Now, can you tell me if the first white move was E4, what shall we call the first black move?
E5?
Yeah, we do. We say it's E5. And in this case, we don't say anything. We just say the square. But the next move, I'm not going to just say the square because the next move is to F3. But if you watch, I will move the knight to F3, the knight to F3. Now this time I have to say knight to F3 because actually 3 pieces could have gone to F3. Who can tell me all the pieces that could have gone to F3?
We have a pawn, we have a queen, or king, I don't know.
The pawn could have gone to F3.
Yeah.
Or the queen could have gone 3, or
Yeah.
so I could have done this move, but it's not very clever. And I could, that's pawn to F3, I could have played this move as well, but we played the knight to F3. Now, the knight is attacking a pawn. That pawn can be defended. In the game it was defended solidly like this, pawn to d6. And now this game is a famous game which shows people a bit about how chess games can be played. In chess it's a good idea to very quickly mobilize all your forces. So that's what Paul Morphy did. Has anyone here heard of a chess player called Paul Morphy?
No.
They say he came from America to live in America years ago, and maybe his real name was Murphy, because Murphy is an Irish name, but in America he started using the name Morphy, and he lived in New Orleans. Has anyone heard of New Orleans?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the city
New
of
Orleans.
jazz.
I've never been there. Yeah, they say it's the city of jazz and carnival. I've never been there, but he lived there, and he was very talented at chess, and he took a year out because he was quite good at his studies. He wanted to be a lawyer, and he was very famous because he was very good at chess. Here, he went to an opera house in Louisiana, and he was playing to very important people. So he wanted to finish the game quickly. Luckily, they made a little mistake now, and they played the bishop to g4. Now they say that move is pinning. Let me write it. Pinning. Pinning down, maybe. Pinning down. Pinning the white knight. Who can explain that? I think that
It's like feeding a knight for nothing, or what? Pinning.
it means it's fixing it. You know, if you pin up something on the notice board, you fix it, don't you? If you're pinned down, you can't move. Sometimes soldiers pin, they can't move. So you are stuck in your position, pinned down.
Stuck.
Why is that knight stuck? Why is it unable to move? The knight on f3. What would happen if that knight were to move somewhere?
It's attacking the king. Oh no, yeah.
The queen is on
the queen.
D1.
The queen.
The queen
Yes,
is on.
the queen.
So actually, white play. And if black tries to take that back, then it will go something like this. And now there is no longer a pin, and white is doing quite well here. So instead of that, black had to capture first of all. And now capture back. Now what is going on in this position? Take over from me and tell me what is happening now on the board. Let's say, is there anybody here who can tell me what's going on the board now? It's black's move. What would be happening now?
Now the bishop of the white bishop pinning the rook at g7, and also the queen is moved to f3. To f3. Yeah.
I've got two pieces, the queen and the bishop, and they're both bearing down on something. If I say bearing down on, what are they bearing down on? The queen and the bishop are both bearing down on the same place.
Yeah.
Planning to threaten the queen.
Compete.
The king.
The pawn.
If the queen
there.
took on, if the queen takes on f7, what's happened?
The game is over. Checkmate.
Yeah, what do we call it when the game is over like that?
Checkmate.
Checkmate.
We call it checkmate, yes. And that would be a kind of scholar's mate, they call it. I used to think it was fool's mate, but fool's mate is to move.
Lion, you have a connection problem. Your sound is cutting and we don't hear everything.
You can't hear me?
No, the sound goes off for a minute and then comes back.
Oh dear. I did have a disconnection problem earlier today, and I phoned up about it, and they said they were changing one of the masts, but I hope it's not too bad. Okay, well, I'll watch out. I've got my volume full up. I hope you can hear me now.
Yeah.
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay, well, I'd like some suggestions about what White should do next.
Castling?
Castling, yes.
Castling is a kind of move which a lot of people would play here, because it can't be bad, can it? It can't be bad. It looks very normal and natural, but actually I want to show you what Paul played and why he's such a good player. He realized that he has a very good way to put his queen on a good square. What do you think of this move? It's better than castling, actually. Why is it so good? Look at what it does now. The queen was blocked where it was, and now it's looking at two things. It's looking at b7, and it's looking at... If I go to this page, can you see my mouse on my screen or not?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, so it's looking at f7, which is very dangerous. It was blocked from that square before, and it's looking at b7. A double attack is often a good way to win in chess. It's called a double attack. So already the black player is in trouble. But it's interesting how it all goes, because now they play this move. It looks a bit awkward. Is it possible for White to capture there and take that rook off? Bang, bang. Is that possible?
No, one time.
Can we just take on b7 and then take the rook off in the corner?
B7.
I think.
Yes.
No.
This way.
What would happen if we take on b7?
If we take on b7,
We could take the rook.
No, it's
No,
very
no,
clever.
no.
It's very clever. It's good.
If we take on b7, it looks quite good, but we don't get the rook, because watch what happens. The queen, the black queen, makes a check. Here, look. Very quickly with a big punch. He wants a knockout in the first round. So here he would have to swap the queens.
Check.
And it's all going to take a long time to win this game. So he thinks, no, no, no. Actually, he could do it a clever way. Watch. This is a clever way. He could have done it this way. And then in. And then he would get the rook. But he decides to go for a big knockout punch. And to do that, just keep the pieces coming. Keep the reserves coming out. Now, black thinks, haha, okay, he let me off. What does it mean if I say he let me off? To be let off, what does that mean? The black player said that was a bit of a let off. I was let off there.
Okay, that's fine.
If you are let off, what happens?
Nothing.
A policeman might catch you. You might be driving too fast in the city, and the policeman stops you and lets you off with a warning.
Not punish.
No punishment, yes. So he played pawn to c6, and now look, his queen is protecting both of the pawns, and he thinks, ha-ha, I got away with that. I got away with that. I was let off, got away with it. But this is just an illusion. Actually, the white player is very strong and he just piles on the pressure, waiting for his knockout punch. Now,
that's very, very clever.
Yeah, the black player, actually there's two of them, they were both aristocrats in America. Count Isard and who was the other one? Two aristocrats. Well, they decide to push Morphy back. B5. That pawn moving 2 squares is protected. What's protecting that pawn?
Was protecting
The other pawn.
The other pawn, yes.
Yeah, so, but what do you think White should do about this? Should he retreat?
You mean the white?
Because the bishop white is no, yes.
Is in danger.
The bishop is attacked.
Yeah.
So we have an option. We can let it die or not.
I think we should, if we try to complete it, no, should go forward.
Go
Just
forward.
take,
I think he does. He goes forward. He goes
take
forward.
F7. Let's take the pawn.
If we take on F7, then the queen
F7.
recaptures.
You have to go back.
But we'll take this way. If we go back, then the black player might permanently go unpunished. So we go forward. And now, actually, black's in quite big trouble, even though he's a piece ahead. So he has to block the check with something or run for his life. So he decides to block the check.
With the horse.
Now,
Right, nice.
the d7 square is the key to the whole game. How can we quickly as possible, pile up on that d7? Pile up.
With the rook.
To bring the rook on a1 to d1.
Yeah, which way though? We have two ways of doing that. We could do it by just moving the rook or by castling on the long side.
Castling on the long side.
Castling on the long side is better because the two rooks are connected. You
Yes.
see? And the king is out of the way, and now the two rooks are both working. Black tries to protect it. Now this is the clever move. I'd like somebody to see if they know what we do. We want to dominate that d7 square, and there's a standard maneuver where we put one rook forward and then they do something, let's waste a move here, and then the other one here, doubling it's called, but it takes a move, you see, so we won't do that. There's a faster way. Which is the faster way?
Fast away for what?
Faster way forward for white.
Fast away at eating the vice.
Capturing on d7 with the rook, yes. Now notice the black knight on f6 can't move. Why?
Because
Protecting
will be
queen.
dead.
It's pinned. No,
Yeah,
it's
it's pinned.
pinned.
It is pinned,
Pinned.
yes. So black takes with the rook. Now what do? We continue piling up.
Piling up.
One piece is not working for us. Which piece?
The rook
Yes, so where do we put it?
on d1.
We do indeed. That's right. Now everything is falling apart. Now there's nothing at all, nothing that black can do. But the way the game finishes is quite interesting. He breaks the pin like this. Now our star player Paul Morphy could win this game the long way by taking the queens off, taking the knights off, and capturing on d7. But watch this, he doesn't. He gives it all away like this. Why? That looks crazy, because the knight is allowed to move now. Because He's seen something. He's seen something on this square. Can you see this square? What is this square that I'm pointing at now?
D8.
D8. How can we get our rook to it?
Moving forward exactly to the horse.
What's the actual move called, though, that we need to play here?
Forward.
Queen forward, yes. Which square to?
Not queen forward. Castle forward. We can move a castle to the elephant.
If we take his...
To the horse.
Yes, but then he takes with the king. King. He takes with the king, not the queen, but he takes with the king, and then it's a bit difficult to catch him. Which piece is stopping our castle, our rook, from going to d8?
The knight.
Yeah, so the knight effectively can't move. Imagine the knight is not allowed to move, so now you will see the right move. His king can't move either.
Well, we can move the queen to a4 or b5.
We can move the queen to a lot of places, actually, and there's a much better square.
Who is playing now? Blacks or whites?
It's white's move, and
White's move.
we need to get that rook to d8. That rook to d8 is checkmate, and that is what Paul is doing here. How does he complete this operation? It's a tactical operation. How can he do it? First of all, notice the black knight can't move.
We must protect the castle by another by the white knight.
With the bishop.
No, we have a better way, by the way.
Maybe if he moved the queen to b5, and this way he is...
You want to move the queen to b5?
No.
Well, we're never going to get enough pressure on that knight. We need to... Remember, the knight can't move. Imagine that knight on d7 can't move. It's absolutely unable to move.
With the knight?
Leon, we will move the queen to b8, so the knight will eat him, and then we will move the rook to d8, and then it's checkmate.
And there's no way to avoid this, you see, because there's no other alternative move now. So that's
he has
what
to
he
move
was
the
doing.
knight. He has to eat the queen. He has to.
So that was the way the game went.
Yes.
So you see, pieces out quickly.
He can't eat the castle, black one.
It's interesting that at the end we only have 2 pieces.
And he won.
Yeah. So now I would like to. Who suggested that move?
Me. Mido.
Mido, you then play a game, and we start a game, and you are playing against everybody. So now I go to the beginning. Now, which move would you like to play?
Okay, let's see. The pawn on e2 to e3.
Just e3, not e4, just like that.
No.
Okay.
Yes.
So now everybody, we're all playing against him, and it's our turn to move. We can discuss what we will do. So, what's a good way to start a game?
Maybe moving the pawns.
Occupy the center.
We should go for the center in some way, but we can do it lots of different ways. So we can move a knight out, a pawn up. Can anyone suggest a good move?
We can move the pawn.
d7 to d6.
d7, d6, that's not bad, is it? Maybe we can even go 2 squares.
Pawn to e5?
Pawn to e5, that's a bit braver maybe, so let's try that, shall we? Okay, we'll try that. Now, your move again then.
Okay, the knight on G1 to G3 to H3. Sorry.
So, say it again, please. The knight.
The knight on G3 on G1 to H3.
H3 to the edge, like this.
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. So now it's our time. It's our turn again. So now, anybody suggest a good move on our side?
Pawn to D5.
I think that looks very logical, to take the centre when we can. So we'll go for that one. We'll play pawn to D5. And maybe we can dominate the centre of the board. So let's move on then.
Okay, the queen to F3.
Queen F3. Let's call out a move for black. We can move knights out now as well. We've got knights, bishops, and then get ready to castle. So maybe it's time for one of the knights to come out. What do you think?
Yes.
Yes, I think so. Which one?
Yes. Exactly. That nice G8.
I think that's the better one, because here we could even play bishop to G4 and cause some trouble soon.
To F6, yes.
We can take bishop. We can take his knight. He's our bishop. And
not yet.
Not yet though, because his queen will have a good square then.
Yeah.
I think that it might be better to play bishop G4, maybe even later, and then our bishops can chase his queen. So it's your turn.
Okay, the knight, the other one, on D1 to C3.
So the knight comes to C3.
Yes.
Like this, good, yeah. So, shall we play bishop G4? Or and attack his queen, or what?
No, it's better to attack his queen now, I think.
Should we?
Yeah,
No.
because he is threatening. We have...
Okay, let's do that. Let's do that and see what happens. I think it's almost lost, that queen.
No.
Do you have a move?
Yes, I'm going to move the queen to G3.
Right. So this is interesting. Any thoughts, Black?
We should put our rook now in E5 to E4. Pawn to E4.
Oh yes, yes. Or I was thinking of playing the bishop to D6, but maybe you're right, because if we play bishop D6, knight to B5 might be annoying. I like this move. Okay, I'll go with that. That sounds good. I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
So what will white do now?
I will I'll move the queen to let me see, to E5.
Oh yes, that's a check as well, isn't it?
Check, yes.
Bishop to E7.
That looks logical, yes. His queen is moving too much. I think it's good to keep the queen out of the fight in the early stage.
Yes. with the nice. So the knight is.
So now we're going to maybe attack that queen soon again.
Is it my turn, right?
It's white's turn now, yes.
Okay, I'm going to move the knight on c3 to b5.
Don't you think that's a trifle too optimistic? I think, well, I'll go.
Right.
You can play it, but I think it looks a bit too optimistic to me. It looks. I see what you're trying. Can you see? I see what he's trying to do there. Can you see what he's trying to do?
Yeah, he's maybe trying to take his knight to c7 or
Yes,
to
and
c7.
what's
And this
the
way
word when he does that? He's attacking two pieces. He's attacking the king and the rook in the corner. When you attack two things at once, there's a special word used in chess, but it makes sense in English, and it's forking, to fork something. Because, you know, a fork can have two prongs. And so when the knight lands on c7, it's forking us. So it's a bit dangerous, but I think I'm not sure it's so good because his queen and his knight are floating around in the board. Maybe later that will cause him a problem. But what shall we do about this move?
Knight to a6.
Okay, knight a6. Maybe it was good, maybe it wasn't so good. I'm not sure. So white to play.
no, I think maybe knight to
Okay.
d7.
The knight cannot go to d7, yes? Okay, it's my move anyways. Okay, the knight on h3 to g5.
Wow. Well, it looks to me like you're floating around with all different pieces a bit loosely. And some troubles might come your way as a result, but maybe it will work. I think we should just continue getting ourselves ready for battle, folks.
I think our queen should be in d7.
That looks good. Queen on d7. Yeah. Or we could just castle.
Oh, castle, yeah.
Maybe
we
if we
castle?
castle, that would be more safe. Yeah.
Yeah, let's castle.
Yeah,
Let's castle.
I think it's
Yeah.
better.
I think now we might be able to kick him back and attack. So it's white's play. White's turn.
Okay, I'm going to move the queen on e5 to f5.
Not f5 because we're going to take you with the bishop.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Just so I thought it was a pawn. Sorry.
Bishops can move
I couldn't
backwards
see
diagonally.
the image is blurry. So I didn't see that it's a bishop.
So
Okay. Let me see. Okay.
I'm losing you a little bit here. So
What? I'm still here, right? Hello?
hello, are you back
Yeah.
here?
Yes, I'm here.
In there.
Okay, I'm going to
Me do?
yes, I'm here. Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, your voice is clear.
Yes, I'm still here, yes. Leon, can you hear me?
Maybe Leon.
Oh my god, he's the one who controls the game. You guys are going to kick me, right?
Of course.
Hello, sorry I'm losing you all.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, I'm
Yeah.
going to move the bishop on f1 to c4.
Wow. You can't do that because the pawn will take you.
I know.
Well, we really ought to take it. Well, it looks like the white game is in a mess now.
Yes, I know. Okay,
I think
time to retreat.
The problem was the queen, early queen moves. So where are you going to retreat to? Run away! Run away!
To c3.
To c3? Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So,
Knight
black.
c5.
Knight to c5, that's interesting. That looks logical, doesn't it? That pawn on c4 can die.
C will or E. E knight or image is playing.
Sorry, I was away then.
Yeah.
So, what is the black move? Knight to c5, we said. Let's go for that. Is there anything for white to do here? Well, he's not in any immediate danger, but it looks like it's not going too well.
Okay, I can just eat the pawn.
Let's not say eat.
c4.
Let's use another word. What word should we use in chess?
Capture?
Capture or take? Okay.
Take the capture.
Right then.
Okay,
let's
capture
take
the
it.
pawn.
Let's capture on c4,
On
or
c4.
take the pawn off. Now,
Okay, capture.
black players, we need some kind of plan here. Something.
No, the bishop is protecting the horse.
I'm thinking about breaking up the position around the white king. Maybe this. And you have to move that somewhere. I'm going to take the knight off. And it's difficult to keep it. So all your loose pieces are going to drop off, I think. The knight is next on the list. Is it safe?
No, it's not. I have to move it, I guess, but no matter where I moved it, it will be captured.
So which is the best place?
h3.
It must be. Now, if we take that, it does create a few holes. I'm not sure if it's a good idea to take it or not, but, well, we're one up already, so let's take it. So you're going to recapture, I presume? Or maybe not.
Yeah.
You can, yeah, right,
No,
so now
I
we've
will.
got a big square here. A knight would look good there. Or a queen. Maybe we can go 1, 2,
Yes.
3, like this, I don't know. Let's try. Queen d7. And then we can take on h3 and come invading on those squares. We've made some holes. We've broken the position over there. It looks like white needs to get castled on the long side, if possible.
Okay, I will,
There's a word in chess that comes from Italy called, I don't know if why it came into chess, but they call it fianchetto. Have you heard of this? Sounds like a kind of sword fighting. It's a way of moving the bishop out. So you have a bishop on c1, and to get castled long, on the long side, you could play pawn to b3 and bishop to b2 and then castle. But
yeah, it's very strong. It's very strong.
It's a good formation sometimes, but we might have a way of stopping you reaching it. But that's one possibility. Your king doesn't want to stay a long time in the centre.
Okay, then pawn on d2 to b3.
Right, so his plan is he's going to move the bishop there and then run away with his king. So it would be a good idea to prepare some nasty trick. Is there something
Maybe
we can
rook
do?
to maybe rook to a6, x6 to threaten knight.
Move the rook
No,
from
not
A,
the pawn to a6.
pawn to A6. That's possible. But I think it's a little bit irrelevant, and it actually helps his knight come home to help. I'm going for this move, look.
Yes,
This move
the rook.
here. This looks
This deal.
very dangerous, because now what happens if he plays his bishop to b2 now?
The rook on the pawn on d2 will be double check.
I think it will be the end, yes, quite soon, if he doesn't watch out, so he's in trouble now. Aha, but he can put his knight back into a good defensive position, maybe.
Knight to
So I
d4.
thought
Okay, let me see. I'm just thinking. Okay, pawn on d2 to d3.
Aha, I was thinking that you would play your knight to d4 to block us, but pawn to d3. Now that looks like it's going to open things up dangerously, because I'm going to take that. Are we looking at the end of this game?
I know.
I think we can start that theme tune, which
Maybe not.
comes from Jaws. It goes like this. Do, do. I think it's looking dodgy.
I think Libor can think about attacking us also by moving the rook from h1, or by moving his queen for last chance if he can attack or make.
It really is a last chance, isn't it? But I think he's got to block the D file. You know, in chess, the lines that go up and down are called files, and the lines that go horizontally are called ranks. The D file is where all the action is. We've got a rook and queen, and everything is coming down there. So he has to try and block it.
Okay, knight on d5 to b5 to d4.
Yes, and we want to shift that one out the way. So we need it out the way. So let's get it out the way. It's in
We should take the rook on capture the rook on c2.
We can just capture. Yes, that's not a bad move, I think, actually. That's not bad, because it does mean that he can almost never castle. I like that. It's a safe move, and it's very strong, I think so. Good move, yes, I like that. It means it's almost impossible to block everything permanently now.
Okay, let me see.
Which king is safest here? The black king is safest, I think. But it's not game over yet, maybe.
Yeah. Still thinking. Okay, let me see. We can move to the bishop to A3.
A3. Uh-huh. Ah, very interesting. Yes, very interesting. Any ideas from Black?
Knight to E4.
Knight to
No,
E4. I wasn't thinking of that one. I was thinking of maybe even.
the bishop.
I like knight to D3. That looks even better for me. And then we'll take his bishop off and use it on the dark squares. Maybe. We have to do something, and we don't want to defend. We could move it back and swap off. Right, let's play this. This looks good. It's check.
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 Yes.
And it looks like you have to take it.
I still can't see the move.
Knight D3 check.
The image is frozen.
Oh dear.
Queen D3.
The knight? You mean the knight on D3?
The knight was on C5 and it's moved to D3 check.
Okay, I'll just capture it with my queen.
Yes. And then we're exchanging the bishops. Well, it's a fair swap, a fair trade. But I'm going to do something nasty in a minute, I think. Maybe we're going to play C5 to shift that knight, shift it out the way, pawn to C5, or bishop to B4 check.
Can't see anything.
Is it our move or middle move?
It's the white move now, so it's Midou's move, but he looks dead to me. He can't take that pawn with the knight because we will take his queen. Maybe he should try and just take it with his queen.
Okay.
What do you think? Is it worth trying to take it?
I think it's safe to take it with the queen. And the best thing to do.
Maybe it's the best thing to do. Are you going to try that, Midou?
Yes, okay.
Yeah, try it. Give it a whirl. Try it. So now, Black, what do we want to do? That knight is in a very strong central position, isn't it? Let's shift it. Bye-bye.
Pawn C.
I didn't see the move.
You still can't see it.
Well,
Pawn C7 to C5. And it might be time for you to give up.
Okay.
It might be time for you to give up
No.
because
If you make
Not yet.
castling, well, how about castling? Short castle.
short castling might be worthwhile, but he's going to be 2 pieces down.
Okay, I'm going to move the knight on D4 to F5.
Whoa.
No.
That might be the best chance because who knows, you might be able to attack my king.
Yeah, but
Right, yes.
the queen.
Okay then. So Blacks, we need a move. Shall we check him? Why not? Puts our bishop on a nice safe square. King is stranded in the centre. That doesn't look too bad. Check.
Yes.
Okay,
One escape.
King
E2.
I'm going to move the king to
Right.
to f1.
King f1.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, good. Aha.
It's not better. I don't know, E2, because
I'm not sure. Maybe it was, but yeah, maybe it was better on
the
e2.
rocks-
Can the black players see how to put the boot in now? How we can really play aggressively enough to end this game? I want the queen on h3, but maybe we need to make his knight move again. Let's make his knight move again. He can actually take on h6 now. That looks interesting.
Okay, I'll move the the rook on h1 to g1.
Okay, yes. Tricky move, that's nice, because if we try and take the knight with our queen, we will lose our whole queen for nothing. Yes, good move.
Mm-hmm.
Better sidestep that, all of that.
Why not take the pawn in h6?
Well, because if he had taken the pawn on h6, we would still move the king, attacking that knight, and then he would have to move again and let us into h3. So I don't think there's any way out for him now. It's all gone a bit too bad. It's all gone too far now. So now we can take the second piece off. We can take the knight safely now, I think. Have to be careful with our own king, but I think it's safe. Is the black king safe?
Yes. I suppose. It's the black play.
White's move now.
Right.
No.
Yeah.
It's my turn. Okay.
We're going to take your knight off safely now, I think.
Not really. I'm not going to stop fighting. No. Okay. Rook on a1 to d1.
But we can take that like this, and then you have to take with your queen, because otherwise you've lost your queen.
Yes, and
then you have to put your king here, and then when these come away, you're 3 down, so it's game over. Right. I think what happened in that game is that the queen came out too early.
Yes.
You have to coordinate your pieces and build up a bit more gradually. But that was great. But he did very well. He spotted the move that Paul Morphy saw, Queen B8. What a move that was! I think that's a beautiful game, and the Queen going to D8 to B8 when it looks like it could be taken, but then when it was taken, there was a mate on D8. So, okay, well, I hope you can come along and play some other time with us.
Okay.
Sure.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot. See you next time. I hope.
Thank you.
Okay. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.